Hey guys, so I thought it was about time I updated my foundation skin prep type video because I haven't done one since I really just started on YouTube, so it probably isn't that good. I've not watched it in a while. Anyway, so I've done a couple of steps already for reasons that I'll explain later. So first of all, I wash my face, which obviously I've done because the sink's not in front of my camera. Then I use Tea Tree Water Toner from Lush. This one's for oily skin, so if you have dry skin I probably wouldn't really advise this, but this has made such a difference to my oily skin, it's fantastic. After that, I do my eye cream. I use Protect and Perfect from Boots. Eye cream you're supposed to apply with your ring finger. It's something to do with the tendons or ligaments or something in your hand that you can put less pressure with this hand because it's controlled by the same one as another finger. Yeah, okay, so enough about that. Moisturiser. Again, oily skin, so I use Stella's Petal Infusions for oily skin. I don't know what I'm going to do when this bottle runs out because you can't get Stella in the UK anymore, and I don't know about buying off of eBay. When I'm not using this, I use Enzymian from Lush. I just squeeze a little bit onto my fingertips, kind of rub it together and then dot like that, and then rub all the dots in, making sure I get down here and up to my ears because I get dry skin around here for some reason. After that, I use MAC's Prep and Prime Skin Refine Zone Treatment. This is the one that's supposed to shrink your pores. It does, it's cracking, I love it. But this I need to leave to sit for a few minutes before I can do my makeup, or else it sits funny, and that's why I've done some steps before I came on camera, to give this time to sit. So, oops, I've got everything lined up and I just knocked something over. Next I use Ordinary Prep and Prime. I just pump in a bit onto the back of my hand, and then I use MAC's 187 to just kind of get that everywhere. I really like this, it really does help my foundation last, and since I have oily skin that's quite important. Alright, and then once I've got that covered, if it's sunny outside, I would then do the Prep and Prime with SPF 50. So this stuff's really good. I remember I was at Download, a music festival, about 2 years ago, and I used this on my face, obviously before my foundation and stuff, because I had really bad skin, so I still wore makeup. I know it's quite vain, but anyway. And I never got sunburnt, and I only applied it once because it was under my foundation. So this stuff is fantastic, I love it, and it doesn't break my skin out despite the fact I have oily skin, so I wouldn't use normal sun cream on my face if I could help it. So this stuff is fantastic, but today it's raining and grey and I'm not going to bother with that. Next thing I use is Still Primer. I have ridiculously oily skin. This is MAC's Matte Texture Cream. This is brilliant for keeping oily skin under control. What I will say though is the girl at MAC that was talking to me when I was buying this, she has oily skin and she uses it, but she says she only uses it on special occasions because it sometimes can dry her skin out. I use this every single day and it doesn't dry my skin out, so that's how oily my skin is. So if your skin is just a little bit oily, I would probably not bother with this. Mine's is literally ridiculous. Yeah. So I just put a little squidge onto my finger, and I only use this in T-zone. So I do 3 little dots across my forehead, one on my nose and my chin, and either side of my nose as well actually, because across my cheekbones can get a bit oily as well. But this is really weird, even when I put a really big blob of it onto my forehead, even though it's like a gel, the blob looks matte. Matte. It's such a strange thing. I love it. It's got a strange, quite thick texture though. Alright. I don't know if you can see that that looks a bit more matte than normal. Okay, so finally, we get onto the foundation. I use Gosh Exceptional Wear. I think this is what I was using last time I done a foundation video. I did change to Bobbi Brown and then I changed back because this was just better. It doesn't have an SPF in it, but the Bobbi Brown one wasn't that high anyway, so I'd rather just use my MAC stuff with the SPF 50. Anyway, I still use my 187. I just use the same one that I used for the primer. And I just stipple that on. This foundation actually lasts a whole lot better on my skin than the Bobbi Brown one, even though it's about a third the price, so it's good. And the colour I use is Porcelain number 11. Gosh is a great company. They don't use any kind of animal testing in their products, on their products, or the ingredients in their products, so I like that. So I just go over all my face quite quickly, making sure that I get all down here so that I've got quite a seamless finish, even though it is a pretty good colour match for me. Alright, then any tiny bits that are left on my hand, if I've got anywhere that's a problem, I'll just get them on there. And then go back to buffing it in and making sure everything's nice and smooth. Alright, so next I use concealer. If you want, you can put your concealer on before your foundation, but you'll pretty much wipe it off with the brush when you're buffing it in, so I'm using MAC Select Cover Up in NW15. I'm liking this a whole lot better than the Studio Finish that I had before. This is just lasting a lot better on my skin. So I always do my under eyes first. That's another bit of hair from my 187. Just pat it in there. The reason I do my under eyes first is, well, obviously after your under eyes you've got skin imperfections and any spots. I would hate to do the spots first and then any bacteria from the spots I'm kind of patting around near my eye. That seems a bit gross to me, so under eye circles first. I'm going to need a little bit extra on this eye. So after that I'll do just down, I've got a little red dot on the tip of my nose that never goes away, down each side of my nose, and then anywhere else it's a bit red. And then I'm going to go onto these spots on my chin. I always try and conceal my spots from the bottom up, because if they're raised they'll cast a shadow. And then that'll cover that up as well. I'm running out of time, so I'll leave that at that. It's not showing it anyway. If I was using a gel or cream blush, this is when I would apply that, but I'm not. Next I set this using Prep and Prime Transparent Finishing Powder. I just turn this upside down and shake it. And then you've got a nice amount of powder in the lid, which won't show up because it's totally white. And I use my 182 buffer brush, and I just buff that on. Alright, so that is my foundation routine for oily skin. I hope that was helpful to you guys. If you've got any questions, please leave them below. Oh, if you've got any product recommendations as well, leave them below. Always happy to try new stuff. I hope that was helpful, and please check out my other videos and rate, comment and subscribe. Bye guys.